Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Callum will be joining me a little bit later on this stream. However, Callum will be here in 5 minutes. He's just sorting out something, bit of a last-minute thing. But everyone that's just joined in, make sure to hit the like button, share button, and subscribe button. Just go through some of the comments here. CJ, 10 minutes before I was supposed to go live at 11. Big up, Lou, Cal, and Jamie. Unfortunately, Jamie will not be joining myself and Callum tonight. Jamie is feeling a little bit under the weather, so hopefully Jamie feels a little bit better tomorrow after a good night's skip. Obviously, links for Jamie's channel always in the description. Same for Sanderson Show as well. I think Sanderson Show is nearly on 5k, about 4.98k. A9, big up everyone. Nice haircut. Yep, Turkish barber again doing the business. Lovely trim. You know, got my nose waxed. Bit of an odd one, but I put it out there. Bilal and JDM is terrible. We will touch on that as well. Andre, big up Cal and Luke when he arrives. Make sure everyone to like, share, and subscribe. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I've not been as consistent as I have wanted to be on this channel. It's something that I'm trying to really work on, to be a bit more consistent, because I've noticed I've lost a couple of subs, but that's because I haven't really been consistent putting out the content for you guys. But hopefully that will be changing. I'm still umming and ahhing. I want to do the boxing this weekend, but I also want to be on Big Up to watch the West Ham Arsenal game. So if I do the boxing, it'll be from like the co-main event onwards, which we'll probably touch on that like later on. You know, Daniel Dubois out against his fight with Joseph Parker, so now Martin Bacoli stepping in on literally a couple of days' notice to fight Joseph Parker, which is crazy as well. But you know, let's get down to business, right? So I set the scene. Last night, the early hours of this morning, I am just waking up, right? And I'm seeing my phone, Twitter notifications everywhere. I'm thinking, oh, there must be some big news. And, you know when you see it circulating, Dana's got fight announcements he wants to make. And it's like, okay. Because on Combat Catch-Up the night before, I think me, Callum, and myself was like, you know, where's the announcements for UFC 314? Because UFC 314 in Miami in April, and it's getting towards March, and we've not really heard anything about it. Like, oh, who's going to headline? You know, you know what's happening with Topuria? What's happening with the rumored title fights? Is it going to be Bilal Shavkat? Is Topuria going to announce something? Are we going to get, when Valentina back? And, when are we going to get these title fights, right? And lo and behold, I'll share the screen. The big news: Ilia Topuria will vacate his undisputed featherweight title and plans to move up to lightweight. That was probably one of the biggest announcements, right? Dana White has announced. So Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopes will now headline UFC 314 in Miami on April the 12th. Big news. And when I first saw it, I was like, damn, he's really gonna, vacate. We're not gonna see, he's not gonna go for the simultaneous double champ status, which is a bit disappointing. I would have liked for him to to stay at featherweight for at least another fight against Diego Lopes or against Moswa Evloev, shout out Callum. He has joined. Big up. I thought a start. You say you're in about 5 minutes. You're in about 5 minutes.
Sorry.
How are you doing?
Looking fresh, by the way. I see you.
Yeah, the Turkish barber again, man. Turkish barber again. I got my nose, waxed.
Does that hurt? Sorry to completely
No,
come in and change the subject. Does that hurt?
It wasn't as painful as I thought. Because I said before I started, I don't want it done because it's gonna hurt.
It looks like a madness. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, hey, looks good. I got the hot towel and everything.
So did they do the wax on your face as well?
Not the wax on the face. So I got like several hot towels. Got the actual blade. Just delicately go down and shape up the beard and everything.
Go close to the camera. Let me see it. He's looking clean. I can't lie.
He's looking clean, man.
He's clean, Luke. He's clean,
I have to say. But Callum, how are you? First of all, like
not too bad. Obviously, a bit of a what? How can I describe it? And a weird evening, but I'm all right, man.
A weird evening. I'll show the screen back in a minute. I'll go through some of the comments. Big up, Cal.
Big up, guys. Big up. Smash that like button if you haven't already.
Yeah, smash the like. 21 people in the building as well. We're live on YouTube and on X as well. Straight razor facts. But Callum, I'll just show the screen again, right? The big announcement early hours yesterday was Ilia Topuria will be vacating his 145-pound belt, which is planned to move up to lightweight. So now Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopes, which was rumored to be happening on the Australia card as an interim title fight. Now things have changed. Now for the undisputed belt. How are we feeling? Are we feeling right move for Ilia? Because Dana said that Ilia feels like that he can't make the weight anymore. The weight cut is a bit of a killer. If I'm Mozart Evloev, I feel a little bit, screwed over. Undefeated. Obviously, he's not the most exciting fighter in the world. Like, how are you feeling? Like, what are your thoughts about this? Because my head's all over the place here. Like, I'm thinking so many different things. Why has he done it? Has he had guarantees that if he's going to vacate the belt, is he going to get something at the end of it? Because talk to me.
So personally, I don't think Ilia is unable to make the weight. I don't think he wants to make the weight anymore. And I think Ilia's looking at it as, I've beaten Max, I've beaten Volk. There's only two other people in the division who I need to beat before I've cleaned it out effectively. And he may look at it and think, those names don't do anything for my legacy because they're not the biggest of names. Now, as fight fans, I would love nothing more than to see Ilia in there with Diego Lopes, because I think Diego Lopes will actually meet him head on and actually swing with him. And for me, it would be who gets caught first. With Mosa, we've not seen anyone try and wrestle Ilia. Mosa Evloev's a really good grappler. So I did really want to see those two fights. Now, obviously, he's vacated. We'll speak about him going up to 55. As it pertains to the featherweight division, bro, I'll be honest with you. I love Volk. Volk's one of my favorite fighters. But I have to be objective and I have to be fair. I don't see why he gets the title shot next. Diego Lopes, completely understand. He's just beaten he beat Ige on 6 hours notice, and then he beat Ortega at UFC Noche. Volkanovski's number one, but he's 3-1 in his last
1-3, isn't it?
Or 1-3, sorry, in his last 4 fights, 2 of which he was stopped. And like devastatingly stopped. Max has moved up to 55 now, so that's
Max must be thinking, for fuck's sakes, man.
Yeah.
And this little guy is.
But surely it's got to be Diego Lopes and Evloev. Surely
you run that rematch back, because I think Lopes was, that was
a short notice.
But and people, you thought that Lopes beat Evloev, but I'll just go through some of these comments. Like, I thought he would go for double champ myself. That for me personally. I'm
going to speak. That's what I wanted to speak about when you finish.
Yeah. I'll touch that as well because I've got a bad feeling about something else as well. If you guys were in the UFC and you had to fight Ilya, what would your game plan be? Hop over the cage and run.
Yeah, run, bro.
Big facts.
I'm running, bro.
Like we run, man. I fear Lopes will send Volk in retirement. Big possibility. Volk's going to have to rewind the clock at least a couple of times to win that fight. Agree with Cal. Topuria has a right to chase bigger names, even though we want to fight others in the division. And you know what? Right, I slag off. Well, I voice my opinions where I'm not happy with certain fighters holding on to the belt.
Yeah, holding up a division.
And like John Jones, like holding on to the belt and don't want to let it go. And as much as I'd love Ilya to stick around at 45 to fight everywhere, Lopes, I commend him for vacating the belt to let the division move forward. And before we touch on, because I'll go through the other announcements for UFC 314 as well, because not gonna lie, that card the week after my birthday,
yeah, it's nice. It's a nice
chef's
card.
kiss right there. Let's talk Ilya, because not gonna lie, I'm a little bit worried. I'll go through my theory.
Go on.
For me, he has vacated this belt because he's been told, you vacate, you get in Makhachev. Vacate the belt, you're going to get Makhachev. However, Makhachev's manager has come out and said that he wants Ilya to go up, fight a top contender, to prove himself as a top contender at 55 before fighting Islam. Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
Then I hear from Ariel that they're planning to do this around International Fight Week. And my big worry is that that's going to be the headline fight for International Fight Week, which means no John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Like
So
that's my big worry.
So you reckon Ilya gets the Makhachev fight?
Yeah. I reckon he gets the Makhachev fight because why vacate the belt to move up if you've not been guaranteed you're going to get a shot?
Okay, so I see it completely opposite from you then. I actually think Ilya fights someone else because if he was going to fight Makhachev, they would have wanted to do champ versus champ.
Luke's conspiracy theory. I'm not gonna lie, I do love a good conspiracy theory.
I don't think it makes sense for him to vacate then challenge, because the whole idea is champ v champ. Because right now, Ilya is just another contender. He hasn't even got a ranking at 55 right now. He's just another contender. Whereas if you're a champ, you automatically can cut the line because you've done work in the previous division. So you can go, I want champ. I don't think Ilya's going to fight Makhachev next. And I think the reason is because Makhachev wouldn't take the fight, I reckon. Because Makhachev's probably sitting there going, look, so far I've beaten Volkanovski twice, a 45, but people criticize me for that. My next fight was Poirier, which everyone gives me credit for, but there are still some people who go, well, Poirier's washed up now. He's not the same fighter. That's the three first title defenses. Then his last one was Moicano on a day's notice. And everyone's gone, well, you beat Moicano, but you're meant to beat Moicano, especially on a day's notice. If he was then to fight Ilya, who's coming up from 45 and wins, everyone's going to straight away go, well, you beat 2 45ers and you've got 3 wins out of it. That doesn't impress me. Or I think Makhachev has gone, I want to fight a 55er. So Dana's probably gone, look, if you're going to go up to 55, you're going to have to vacate that belt and you're going to have to fight a contender and earn it. If Ilya goes up, fights a contender, earns it, then he gets to fight. But I don't think you walk straight into the fight, bro.
Do you know what? Because when this news announced, someone posted something.
Was it Oliveira?
This guy. And this is the more realistic one, not the other conspiracy theory. This is the more realistic one. Dustin Poirier needs a retirement fight, people.
I don't think Dustin takes that fight. Yeah.
He needs a retirement fight. Obviously, if you ask Dustin, he probably wants to fight someone like a Nate Diaz, but that's not going to happen. You're not going to run it back with Chandler because he's booked. He's not going to run it back with Gaethje. He's not going to run it back with Max. Not going to run it back with Hooker because Hooker and Gaethje, they're busy doing their own thing. He's not going to jump up and the welterweight fight Colby Covington, which I thought that fight might have happened. Not going to happen anymore. And you're looking at 55 and you're thinking Dustin probably wants a big name. He probably wants a big name before he goes out. And for me, and if you're looking at Ilya thinking, I need to fight a contender here. I need to fight a top contender here. And like a top contender, like what are you going to give Ilya? What are you going to give Ilya? Arman Sarukian or Charles Oliveira? Because I've seen reports saying that they're going to rematch at UFC 316. Obviously, Sarukian Oliveira, but yet again, the sites that report this, they get stuff wrong. So it's just like when I say stuff has been reported, it's the pinch of salt, really, because you know how the rumors go. But for me,
isn't Dustin trying to fight twice though this year?
Pardon?
Isn't Poirier trying to fight twice this year?
No, he wants one. He wants one more. He wants a retirement fight.
I thought he said twice because when he obviously wants to retire in Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
When is the date of that card?
He said he wants one more. And like for me, like if you're looking at a top contender, a big name, because could you imagine, right? Like Ilya goes, he beats Volk, knocks him out, knocks out Max, the two goats. Goes up, knocks out Poirier, who's one of the all-time, one of the greatest fighters never to win an undisputed belt. Then goes up to fight Makhachev, could beat Makhachev. That's one of the greatest 4-fight runs, like
of all time,
ever, sort of thing. And for me, he is a big enough name. And if Ilya wins, then you can go around to Islam and say, "Hey, look, I beat a guy that you struggled with, and you needed basically a heel hook out of nothing to beat him, really." Like you could run it off that narrative. For me personally, I don't know how you think that. For me, he's looking at 55 who he could fight as a number one contender. It would be Dustin. It's a risk because if Dustin beats Ilya, because let's be honest, right? Like, everyone thinks, hey, Ilya a knockout machine. Last time he jumped up to 55 was against Jai Herbert on short notice.
Yeah,
I know he knocked him out. But Jai Herbert caught him with the head kick.
He did. How often do we see Dustin throw a head kick?
Not
saying that. How often do we see Gaethje throw a head kick and he knocked Dustin out with one? So
yeah.
All right. So here's my thinking on this. I don't think Dustin Poirier wants to fight Ilya Topuria for his last fight.
I don't think he's going to have no choice. Look who they're making Anthony Smith fight as his last fight.
Who's Smith fighting?
Man.
Who's Smith fighting?
Some unknown. Not a big name.
So I reckon Dustin's last fight will be for the BMF against Max Holloway.
Potentially, I think he's going to be, it's going to be given to him on the way out. So I think, you know how like in wrestling where the veteran puts over the younger guy? For me, that's how I feel like that's going to go. CJ with a comment saying, I don't want to see Poirier go out like this in his hometown. No, but
it's a winnable fight. Ilya versus Poirier is a very winnable fight for Poirier.
Yeah, like it is a winnable fight for Poirier, but it's a great fight. Like I definitely want to see it. Like, are we saying that we're not down to see that? I am, but moving on. Moving on. Could we see Islam Dustin again? Probably not. Probably not. Moving on. Right. Let me. Obviously, that'll be obviously with regards to the Volk versus Lopes, his 10th consecutive title fight since 2019.
That's
For
crazy.
Volk. Crazy. And this is the card. This is the full.
Was Izzy on a run like that? I'm trying to work out if anyone else has done that in recent
Izzy
time.
was on a similar type of run, but this is the bout list for UFC 314. Obviously,
insanely good card.
We've spoken about the title fight, the 5-round co-main event, right? Things you love to see, because I was gonna crash out if I saw Michael Chandler versus Arman Sarukian for number one contender. I was about to motherfucking crash out on this.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm not against this, man. I'm not against.
I'm all for it.
Because this is a massive opportunity for Paddy.
It's a big opportunity for Michael Chandler to grow his brand as well, to get a big name on his record.
Derail the hype train. You know, I've been very critical of Paddy. I think it's pretty much known that I've been very critical of his fight style, the way he defends his strikes. I do feel like the chin hangs out a little bit. If he gets a good smack and he gets dropped, I want to see how he deals with that adversity. And we know Michael Chandler can crack.
Yeah.
You know, we know he's got a dynamite of a left hand. Look what he did to Dan Hooker in his debut. Look, what do I say? Is he knocked anyone out since then? He's not actually knocked out anyone else since he knocked out Hooker, to be fair. So can't really go as far as that. But he is a hard hitting striker and he's a good wrestler as well. This is definitely Paddy's hardest opportunity. He's no gimme. It's a 5-rounder as well. I want to see how that gas tank is for Paddy as well. But I like the fight. I love the fight.
And the reason I do is because we need to see Paddy step up. Michael Chandler, as you said, can't keep on getting number one contendership fights. He has to now fight down in the rankings. And it's a mutually beneficial fight for both parties. A very mutually beneficial fight for both parties. Paddy can jump into the top 10 and get an established name on his resume, like a real world-class established name. And as you said, for Chandler, he can derail a hype train and also reinvigorate his career as well as becoming more popular. It would have been nice to have seen his fight in the UK. Yeah. But obviously there's no pay-per-view in the UK that we know about as of yet, which is a shame, but it would have been nice to see that in the UK.
There's been a change to that as well. Obviously with this, because I don't know whether or not you've seen the stuff like the Fight Disciples stuff. Like we know Nick Pete, Adam Cattrall. Shout out Nick Pete. He follows me on Twitter, by the way. Shout out Nick Pete. He follows you on Twitter. And I saw a clip from one of their podcasts, and he said he's been Paddy told him about this, and Paddy told him that he's gonna get a top Paddy after this. Should he win, he's only one fight away from the belt.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Basically, so this is catapulting him right in that picture. And I'd love to see who he could get after this.
All right, so I think if we're talking about matchmaking, and this is what they'll do for Paddy, if
loser of Sarukian Oliveira, if they run that back,
that'd be too much of a dangerous fight, in my opinion, for Paddy. I think if Gaethje beats Hooker,
give him Hooker,
or whoever wins the winner out of Gaethje Hooker, I think fights Paddy, because whoever wins that fight will be in number 3 in the division, and then I think they'll fight for the belt with Islam. I think if you're the UFC, you try and put Paddy in fights that are as winnable as possible.
And obviously on that card, Yair Rodriguez versus the debutant.
Yeah.
Patricio Pitbull. Pitbull and Chandler fighting on the same card, eh?
Crazy.
Hey? We're running that back. What we're saying? Those two going back and forth on the mic. What we're saying there?
Obviously, Patricio knocked him out in Bellator. Patricio's 37 now, though, and he's on the wrong side of his prime. This feels like a setup. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, because it was like he's basically begging like PFL to sort of like release him, because they weren't treating him well, and he was like, well, yeah.
Well, it was rumored he went somewhere else, though, wasn't it?
Was it? I'm not 100% sure of that.
I feel like there was rumors that he went somewhere else. He signed somewhere else, and then because I'm pretty sure we covered it. Did we? Was it GFL? I could have swore the rumor was that
the GFL. Oh god, yeah, the old people's home are fighting the GFL. Be very interesting. I expect Yair Rodriguez to beat Pitbull. Yeah, I expect that. But hey, Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. What we're saying there. That Neil Prates fight is gonna be good. I'm not gonna lie. This is an opportunity because I call, with all great respect, your likes of your Neil Magny's, your Jeff Neal's, your gatekeepers. He is the elite gatekeeper. If you want to achieve anything in this division, you got to beat a Jeff Neal.
Do you know why I like this fight so much?
Because if Jeff Neal fraud checks you, it's a long road back.
Jeff Neal hits so hard. Prates hits so hard.
That chain, the absolute chain smoker, just smokes his way through. Like literally, he's puffing on cigarettes and stuff.
That fight, that throws the cat amongst the pigeons at welterweight. It really does.
Definitely, and obviously you got Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes.
Good fight. I would have thought Nikita would have got someone higher up in the rankings. I don't know how much that does for him because he's someone that could be a contender in that division.
Yeah. I'll just touch on these comments quickly. If Volk can't win, he could retire. Possible. If Father Time has hit Volk, he'll get smoked. That's the fear. Chandler is in the same boat as Volk. I think they lose, and it might be retirement. Michael Chandler, I disagree with.
I actually, crazy theory. If they both lose, I actually think they'll probably fight each other.
Jeff Neal is the ultimate gatekeeper. Hate calling him that because he checks people. Yeah. I find it very disrespectful me saying that about him. But unfortunately, that's his main role. I do feel like that. Any top level talent, like they gave him, was it Neil Magny or was it Jeff Neal? Mike Malott in Canada. Was it Jeff Neal that
Jeff Neal? No, it wasn't Jeff Neal. It was Neil Magny.
Yeah, it's Neil Magny and beat him in Canada. And sort of derail that hype train like completely. Like we've not seen him since trying to climb up the rankings again. But also on the card, Danny gave us his Sean Woodson, sorry. And then number one contenders bout for the strawweights, Zhao Zhang versus Verena Zarabova. And obviously Jim Miller versus Chase Hooper as well on the card.
Good fight. The women's fight, by the way, that's got massive implications for the 125 division.
Yeah, for me, I think I'd say probably even a number one contenders bout because we'll touch on what's going to happen with that probably.
Sorry, the 115 division. Sorry, not 125. Yeah, that's a number one contenders bout.
And then also other fights on the card: Darren Elkins versus Julian Rosa. It's going to be a banger. Dumont versus Ola Junkchek. I think I butchered that name. Can't pronounce his name versus Raposo. Montes versus Romero. So great fights. Great fights on that card.
I'm surprised Masvidal's not on the card. I thought Masvidal would have made a return on the card.
Yeah, possibly they might have not been able to sort things out with regards to that. So I sort of understand why that's not happened at all. But the fight that you're most looking forward to on that card?
all of them, bro. Like, that's a tough one.
It's a banger card, you know, because
It
we
is
were.
a hell of a card. I might go Prates Jeff Neal. I think that's going to be fireworks.
I think because it's different.
Yeah, that's just going to be fireworks. That's two guys going in there to just knock each other out.
Yeah, and then obviously, let's touch on UFC 315 afterwards. Bosh. No Shavkat Rakhmonov. He is still injured.
Do we know what the injury is?
No idea. Just before we touch on that, Masvidal versus Colin Fraudo would hit.
They'll never make that fight. They will never make that fight.
So, Bilal Muhammad has gone from stealing Leon Edwards' belt. Now he's gone and stole his opponent. As Darren Till said, that he needs to try and steal his personality. Which I thought was kind of a bit funny. So now, off the back of that, now it's going to be Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Which, as Jamie Phillips is probably watching this, he's probably going, oh, for fuck's sakes. Because I can just see it now. Torn MCL, I've heard, for Shavkat, still recovering from the Gary fight. So he's still recovering off that, because I think he torn it in the Gary fight, his MCL. So if he's still recovering, because I think I saw that Shavkat's going to get the winner anyway.
Oh, of course, yeah, he has to.
So none of them have personality.
JDM's an exciting fighter, though, so you can give him that.
Yeah. And obviously, Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot, which is probably, would rather see Wei Lee, but I think Shevchenko's probably going to, get this done to set up the super fight later on this year.
Does she need to win another fight to set up the super fight? Look at the work she's done at 125. She's lost one fight at 125.
Yeah, but I feel like Fiorot's been waiting for this for a while.
No, I get it. And look, Fiorot's quality, but I know this is going to sound really selfish and arrogant and really like... The fight is there. It's right there. The super fight is right there. Wei Lee and Shevchenko's right there. If Fiorot beats Shevchenko,
the Wei Lee fight thing again.
Well, yeah, you have to get for a rematch or the next in line. You can't do a super fight of a champion who just won the belt.
Yeah, but
it should have been Wei Lee Shevchenko. The timelines aligned. Dana even said he likes the fight. He said both the women like the fight as well. How has that not been made?
I think maybe Valentina's gone, look, I need to have one more before I entertain. Like, I've got to stay active. Wei Lee's just fought, the time is getting.
You mentioned Valentina Shevchenko and Jamie Phillips appears.
No way, is he appeared? He's on the way. You're damn right. I told you.
Yeah, do you know what? You mentioned Valentina and Jamie Phillips appears.
You say Valentina 3 times and he appears.
That was the fight to make, man. I think the UFC lost an opportunity there. Plus,
the main event ain't it. LOL.
Again, respectfully, JDM is brilliant. I love JDM as a boxer.
It's the wrestling, man. It's the wrestling. Is Bilal going to smother him?
Does he deserve that fight?
Does he deserve it?
It's a win over Gilbert was his most recent win, and how long ago was that?
But yet again, like, I know the body of work before that was different. Bilal's last win before he got an opportunity at the belt was an absolute stink fest against Gilbert Burns. Speaking of Gilbert Burns, he will also be fighting on that card in a very, very exciting fight against Michael Morales.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yes, he's cooking again. Yes, he's cooking.
He's cooking a little bit. See, Dana's heard the criticism. He's heard the criticism about. Hello. There we are.
Come on.
Hello, Jamie. Oh, I will put her back on the screen for you.
You mentioned wifey, and look who appears, bro.
Wifey.
I did look.
Morales and Burns is a banger.
I literally just finished watching these. I literally just finished watching EastEnders. My headache's actually cleared up now. It's all right. I was just laying there watching EastEnders cry my eyes out. It's heartbreaking. And then I went, I sort of see how Luke and Cal are getting on. And I just see her on the screen. So
It's a sign,
Lauren said she's got half her. Lauren said it's cool for me to go and do it. So yeah.
Does she know why you wanted to go and do it?
No.
Yeah, everyone make sure to subscribe to Jamie's channel in the description.
Talk to me. So what's going on? I haven't been watching the show. So I just finished it.
It's not going to be Valentina versus Wei Li, Jay.
There's no Valentina Wei Li as of yet. The Dolshevchenko, you've got to deal with Firo first, then we'll give you Wei Li.
This 315 card is shit. Is this the real fights?
Yeah.
Did you just say is he the real fight?
He's the real fight. Yeah, Shavkat's still injured, Jay. Shavkat's still injured. So Madalena. So now.
That is the worst title fight in UFC history.
Hey, Jamie. So guess who Leon Edwards has got now as an opponent for London?
Oh God, yeah, because don't.
Sean Brady.
Do you know what? Also on that card is Grasso and Natalia Silva.
What are we doing?
Gee.
What are we doing?
Hey, Jay, hold on. Jay. Natalia Silva and Grasso.
What are we doing? I can't hear.
Grasso's on the card as well.
Did you take off his headphones? He took off his headphones. Now, also on the card, Jay, Natalia Silva and Grasso.
So Jamie's not feeling.
I'm feeling the women. I ain't lying. Right, but they're made up versus.
Gilbert Burns is fighting Michael Morales on the card.
Oh,
that's insane.
Gilbert Burns is shit.
I'll be honest. The Bilal de la Madalena fight.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a name no one could. Stop. He should change his name, man.
He should just change his JDM like RVD did back.
Yeah, JDM, man. This is the worst title.
JDM's in the title because not got enough room to do Della Maddalena.
It's either going to be It's going to be one-sided one way. It's either going to be one-sided JDM or one-sided Bilal.
Nah,
Bilal's winning.
Sorry, Bilal's going to ragdoll him. He's going to see what Gilbert did to him. Yeah. Let's be honest, he was fortunate to get up from Gilbert. He was fortunate to get up from Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert let him get up because he was injured, and JDM just caught him flush. Cal and Jamie, would you guys shave your hair and beard if we win the league and Champions League, plus get to see Islam Topuria and Pereira Jones?
Yeah, I would, because mine will grow back in within a month.
Not my beard. I'm not shaving my beard.
I'm not sure about Cal.
Yeah, no, I'm not shaving my beard. It took me years to grow this. I'm not shaving it.
What you see with Cal right now is since puberty.
I'm not shaving the beard ever.
Yeah, so
I'll shave everything. I'll shave everything.
So how much have you actually watched of the show? Do we need to?
I just saw Shevchenko come on the screen.
Okay. Then you've got a lot. We've got a lot to catch up.
I just finished crying watching EastEnders, man.
Yeah, Jamie, not gonna lie, I've not watched EastEnders for about half a decade. So.
Oh man, it was a live episode as well. It was
amazing. Okay, Jamie. So in other news, Ilia Topuria is vacating his featherweight title to go up to featherweight, to go up to lightweight.
Oh, it's on like Donkey Kong.
And Alexander Volkanovski will fight Diego Lopes for the vacant belt in Miami, April 12th. Yeah. Okay. I take it you're not feeling it. You're not feeling it.
No, because Volk's going to win that fight.
Okay.
And we're going to have Grandpa Volk be champion because the best fighter he
That's
can't
the full card. That's the full bout list. So we've got Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett, 5-round co-main event.
Oh, come on, Paddy. He's winning that fight.
Then Yair Rodriguez versus Patrici Pitbull making his UFC debut.
That's his debut, ain't it?
Oh,
they
yeah.
give him Yare Rodriguez just like
He's
that.
getting cooked. He's getting cooked.
Rodriguez is killing him.
Then we've got Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates.
Remember what Vince used to do to the WCW guys? It's a setup. It's what Vince used to do.
Is Cal God?
No.
I'm blowing my nose. I don't want you guys to see me on screen. Like,
yeah. So when the camera goes off, you disappear in the background.
Oh,
because it's camera on, then it'll like reappear again, which is a bit.
Cal turned into Morgan Freeman.
Jamie.
Yeah, there you go.
Jamie.
I hear that every
obviously, you've got Carlos Prates versus Jeff Neal, Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes, Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson.
Dan Ige's still being booked.
Yeah.
Is this Jim Miller's last fight and they don't put him in the main card?
No, it's not his last fight. That motherfucker's still fighting, man.
Yeah, what's the record he's after?
Is it 50 wins?
Saying like that. He fought at 100, 200, and 300, didn't he?
He's not going to get 400. I guarantee he's not getting to 400. No way. If JDM catches Bilal, he has a chance. Neal smash Bilal up. Yeah, but Neal's got a really good wrestling background. Jack de la Maddalena's wrestling is not up there.
That card's
her count at FSG for life. You can shave it for Liverpool.
I'd never live that down. I swear it.
No, it's recorded and kept.
It's
I heard that it was AI. I heard that it was AI, but
that's a good card. That's a good card.
But that's a good card. Obviously, 315. Got those two headlining it. Gilbert Burns is on the card. I'm going to see if they've got more fights for that card yet. So I'll just have a look.
I'm just on the website now. There's only the main card so far.
But they got the main card sorted out.
Yeah, so Bilal versus JDM main event. Valentina Phillips versus Firo in the co-main.
Hell yeah.
Gilbert versus Morales. Grasso versus Natalia Silva. And Barriot versus Bruno Silva.
I did see that Benoit Saint Denis and Joe Alvarez maybe booked on that card as well. But yeah, again, it's one of those fights. I need one of those things that I need to see it confirmed by the UFC for me to actually go, oh my God, it's been booked. So, but Jamie, since you weren't here when we speaking about Ilya, what do you think about Ilya vacating to move up? And do you think he's vacating and moving up because he's been told by the UFC that he's definitely going to get Islam, or it has been reported because Islam's manager said that he wants Ilya to fight like a top contender before he fights Islam, which I sort of agree with because as Callum put it perfectly earlier on, like Islam doesn't want his reign to basically him beating up 45ers. Because let's be honest, half of his reign is him being smacking about 45ers at the moment. And he probably wants Ilya to legitimize himself at 55. So if or when Islam beats him, then people can go, look, Ilya's a fully fledged 55er, not someone that's just come up from 45. What do you think?
The thing is, he's still got good fights at featherweight. So the only way, Diego Lopes has still got a fight yet, so he's not going to fight him. There's still a couple of fights there he could have. So the only way for me, he's been promised the Islam fight. He must be promised his Islam fight. He's got up to Islam's rankings. He's now a lightweight, so he's not going to go back down.
It's about him struggling with the weight cut, but as Callum said, I think I may have touched on it as well. I don't think those names in that I don't think the Lopes, the Evloev, I don't think that gets him up in the morning. I don't think that's I don't think that fuels his hunger. I think he wants Islam. That's the fight he wants, and
it's the only fight to make. Because I think,
Jamie,
I think he beats Islam, and Islam goes to welterweight. That's what I reckon.
However, Jamie, we were speaking about like, oh, if he does need a contender, who's it gonna be? Because obviously, and then obviously 5 hours ago, this guy posted, and I reckon that they're gonna feed him this guy because he needs an opponent, and if they want to legitimize him as a top contender at 55, how about giving the guy that has given Islam one of his toughest tests? Because if Ilya comes through that and let's say he knocks out Dustin quicker than Islam finished him, then we can run that narrative in their build-up saying, hey, look, I beat Dustin with ease. You needed the last, you need a desperation leg hook, like a heel hook to beat him, sort of thing. And for me, it makes sense because the other top contenders at 55 are either booked or are going to be booked, like the rumors of Saruki and Charles 2 is going to be booked for UFC 316. Obviously, that's not been announced. It's just rumors. So until that gets confirmed, those two are still free. But the other guys like Gaethje, Hooker, booked. Chandler's now booked. He's not going to fight Benoit Saint Denis because he's going to be booked, sort of thing. So for me, Dustin's the only guy that's high enough in the rankings. It's his retirement fight. We know that Dustin's done after this. So why don't you give him the opportunity to make a name off of him before he fights Islam?
If that is the fight, Ilya takes care of him within 3 minutes. It's not pretty.
I think it's a tough fight.
I think it's not pretty.
You reckon he deals with him that quickly?
I think Ilya just deals with him, man. He's an old man now. Ilya just destroys him within 3 minutes. Here's what I think they're going to do. You could be right. This could be the fight. It makes sense. This is what I think UFC are thinking right now. Now I've seen these matchups, I've got my head working. I think they want to get the Islam. I think they want to get the. Do they want to do it that way, though? Yeah, fuck it. I think they want Islam, Ilya. They want Ilya to beat Islam so Islam can move up to welterweight, where I think he should be. And then they're hoping
that Bilal drops
they're
out
hoping.
belt.
Well, no, they're hoping Paddy Pimblett beats Chandler because they want to do Ilya Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah,
because they have a
Jamie,
massive rivalry. That is what it's all set up for.
And Jamie, because obviously Nick Pete, you know who Nick Pete, TNT Sport. Yeah, he's obviously got told because obviously he's friends with Paddy. Paddy told him that he's going to get a top, like #1 contender bout. Should he beat Chandler, he's going to get a #1 contender bout, and if he wins that, he's going to fight for the belt.
So I think Paddy beats Chandler, right? I do as well. I think Paddy beats Chandler, and I think Ilya beats Islam as well, and then that's Ilya's first title defense is against Paddy Pimblett. It's written in the stars. This is what they've been wanting to do with Paddy. Paddy's now fighting Chandler. They are forget about the rankings now. If he beats Chandler, he's obviously into 7th or 6th. They're not going to then give Pimblett a Dan Hooker or a Max Holloway or anything like that. They're going to give him a title shot. He's going to call, and the rivalry's there. They hate each other. They can't stand each other.
Yeah, but I don't think that Ilya's going to get the title shot as soon as he jumps up. Because I don't think because they're going to make him wait.
Ilya's not booked. I don't know. He must be
then
told
Jamie,
he's getting Ilya, otherwise you don't vacate the title.
Oh, yeah.
I think the opposite, Jay. I think he would have got Ilya if he didn't vacate the belt. Because they could have easily made an interim for Volkan Lopes. I think Islam was like, look, I'm not fighting another 45-pound champion. If he's going to fight me, he comes up and he fights in the division. I reckon I think Islam's fed up of hearing he's beaten 45ers. He wants to beat 55ers. Remember, Islam's a legacy guy. All he speaks about is legacy. I want to be known as the best or the best ever.
Well, to be known against the best, you got to beat the best, and Ilya's the best. Don't matter what.
No, I agree. No, Jay, I agree with you. But in his mind, I'm speculating here. In his mind, I think he goes, everyone who's a real fight fan will go, Ilya's the guy.
Ariel Barney. There you go.
But yeah, this was my other conspiracy theory at the very beginning. This is my biggest fear, that they're not going to give him Dustin. They're going to give him Makhachev straight off the bat, right? And what was the rumor that we were hearing? Dana wants John Jones International Fight Week versus Tommy Aspinall. If this rumor is floating around, this means John Jones is done. And he's going to give up the belt, which means he ain't coming back for International Fight Week. And you're pissed off. Basically, you're wasting Tom Aspinall's career if you're not going to give him the belt, because that's what's going to happen at 317. You're either going to get John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, or you're going to get this fight as the main event, unless they're going to absolutely stack 317. And they're still going to have John Jones versus Tom Aspinall top of the bill and have this as like the co-main event, which I highly doubt it.
No, they won't. This is the main event. Yeah, this is the main event. And I'm going to be, I might be sounding stupid here. I think Islam versus Topuria is a bigger fight.
It's probably the bigger fight because the guys are younger and are active.
I think it's a better fight. I think it's the fight. It's just, it's got so much on it. They hate each other. There's so much on it. I do think Islam should be in 170. I think he's perfect for 170. 170 is dying right now. He'd be perfect in that division. Hamzat's going to win the 185 belt probably against DDP. Although I think it'd be a very 50-50 fight. I could see Hamzat being middleweight champion. By 2026, by the end of 2026, I could see Islam welterweight champion, Ilya lightweight, and Hamzat middleweight champion, and Pereira heavyweight champion.
I have Duplessis beating Hamzat.
So do I.
It's very close fight, but I just. This is the fight to make. This is the best fight UFC can make right now.
Jamie, the fight we all want to see is Nunes versus Hassan. That's what we need.
Yeah, Nunes is just
That's what we need. But
saying that our manager's thrown him under the bus as well. So
yeah. We are not gonna talk about El Donkey right now. Different stream for that. We're talking about the Happy Place.
It's a Portuguese donkey as well. Don't forget him as well.
The Portuguese. No, yeah, because everyone calls him El Bandera, but I've been trying to say what donkey is in Spanish. So I say El is it Muca or something like that. I don't know, but I'll listen to what donkey is in Spanish again, and that's Darwin's nickname is El whatever donkey is in Spanish.
El donkey.
This destroys DDP. If it's in the first round, then maybe.
I told you, UFC. I told everyone weeks ago. No one wants to listen to Uncle Jamie. Start listening. UFC have been trying to shake things up for a while now because they knew their product was stale. They knew their product was stale.
Uncle Dana's answered the call. He's answered the call.
He's realised it. The company's
is that true, Cap GTO? Is it Burro? I'm double checking because I don't want to say something,
El Burro.
Yeah. Yeah, double check just to make sure.
No, he is correct.
El Burro.
Darwin Núñez is El Burro. El Burro. Not El Bandera, it is El Burro.
Yeah, I just say it.
Your mum called you that.
Shout out to Leo Cooper in the chat as well. Got a really good
shout out Leo Cooper as well. I hope the stream's going well, fellas. Glad we got some great fight news. Absolutely. Dana's answered the call. He's heard the criticism.
You heard me the other week.
He definitely
Dale.
heard Jamie the other week.
Dale, man.
He heard that I
Shake
was
it
going
up.
to start calling him an El Burro if he didn't pull his finger out
Shake it
to
up.
book us some great fights. And all you need to do now, Dana, to avoid me cooking you, just give John Jones fuck you money and give us John Jones Tom Aspinall. Then I'll lay off your case for the rest of the year.
That's not happening.
I just now if Ariel Awani's right, and let's be fair, Ariel is usually right, and that's why UFC hate him.
Yeah.
If it is on International Fight Week, John Jones ain't going to be on that card, because if they have to give him fuck you money, as they said,
they ain't going to put
they're going to make the card really weak, like they do for Conor cards. Conor cards are usually really weak because Connor's get the majority of the pay.
Apart from 205, where that card was stacked.
But that was the first New York card.
But Conor weren't meant to be on that card, was he?
No, he was, but it's the first ever New York card, so they had to stack it.
Yeah, they had to stack it. Yeah, exactly. I'll be. There's no way you're doing Ilya versus Islam as a co-main event. You're just not. And I don't agree with Dana. I don't think the heaviest the weight should be on the main event. I think the most wanted fight should be the main event. In my opinion, Ilya versus Islam should be a main event over John Jones and Tom Aspinall. It's a better fight. It's a more popular fight, and it's a better fight. It's what everyone wants to
That's
see.
the only one, Jay, where I think it's 50-50. One goes last.
Hey, I don't know if I'm going to get done for this, but fuck it. Might as well. Right. Michael Chandler talking about the Paddy stuff. He's talking.
It's on Twitter. You can do that. It's all right. It's on ESPN.
No, I've had the UFC thing from Dana about the John Jones thing. My video got taken down.
Yeah, that's UFC. Though. As long as there's no backgrounder in it or anything like that, it should be all right.
Change. He's not stepping into the octagon with Bobby Green, with Tony Ferguson. It's just a different level. And I still believe where I'm at, it's a bad matchup stylistically for him. That first time he gets hit by one of the toughest punchers in the UFC lightweight division, which he has not faced yet, it's going to be a different feeling. It's going to be a different speed. It's going to be a different ferocity that he has.
Yeah. And that's all I feel comfortable playing. And I got it at a great shot as well.
I think Paddy chokes him out.
Oh.
I think Paddy chokes Chandler.
Hey, I'd love that because American wrestling's been on the decline, and if he can tap out an American wrestler,
Paddy's not got great stand up, but look at his last fight, man. His work in that last fight was excellent.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
And I think Chandler hits hard. Also, I know he's a wrestler, but Paddy's jiu-jitsu and that is
different.
It's not being messed with. It's quality.
It's one of the best in the world. Yeah,
world-class jiu-jitsu, and his judo and that as well is good as well. So, a young Chandler, I'm going for every day of the week. UFC 2025 version of Chandler. I think Paddy taps him out.
Yeah.
And we get Paddy Islam in 2026. I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
Yo, there's more announcements, but second, different video. I know I got asked on Twitter briefly to mention it. It's not in the title at all. I was going to do a preview about it, but I couldn't arrange, timings. I was out today as well. So, timings didn't align. But let's touch briefly about the fights this weekend, the boxing. Obviously, no Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. Dubois is ill, so it's now Joseph Parker versus
Martin
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, Jay. Yeah, random, innit?
Ill my ass. Nah, fuck off.
And obviously, the main event is still Topuria versus Bivol.
Ah, pussy, man. Fucking pussy. What has he got? A sniffle?
And then Schofield is out against this fight against Shakur.
He better have malaria. Dubois better have malaria.
And then obviously, Shakur Stevenson's opponent is out. Schofield, he's hospitalized. So now Josh Polly is now getting that opportunity. And according to Eddie Hearn, His Excellency basically gave him a bag and bought him a house.
Good
to get
for
the
him.
fight.
Ollie.
Yeah.
I'd have
Because he beat
stepped
his
in
guy
there.
Mark Chamberlain in the last Riyadh
What?
season.
What?
I'd have stepped in there if that's what like Turkey's doing. I'd have been like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, but he bought him the house in Croydon. That's the problem.
I'll take it. I'll sell it on.
Yeah. Hey, we also need FSG versus Cal. If Cal wins, FSG has to sell the club.
How many people are in FSG? I'd get battered. There's like 200 people in FSG.
The geriatric
lost.
Damn. Yeah. So just a quick touch on that briefly. Thoughts on Bacoli versus Parker?
Horrible match for Parker.
Yeah, Parker's
Horrible
getting
match.
cooked, man. Parker's
I'd
getting
rather,
cooked.
I'd rather watch my eyes bleed from the inside.
I think Bacoli's gonna bash him.
Oh, this is such a dangerous one because Joseph Parker's getting fucking knocked out, man. He is.
See, I think
Joseph gonna knock out Parker.
I think Joseph Parker beat Dubois. Personally, I think Joseph Parker.
Nah, not this version of Parker, Jay. If you're talking when Parker was fighting AJ, the first time they fought, if that was that version of Parker, then I'd be like,
no. I think Parker's better now than he was then.
So do I. I think he'd have beaten Dubois as well. I think he'd have just
I just think the mileage on the clock, because you look at his age, you go, oh, it's only 32.
Yeah, he is, but
he's
Dubois talks like he's 70.
Yeah, I know, because he's I don't want to say it, but he's probably
a prick. He's a fucking prick.
He's probably not all there, but to be honest, neither am I.
I can't stand Dubois.
Yeah, but Cody might be the best heavyweight other than Usyk.
But Cody's losing, man. Josh Parker's beating Cody. It's going to be.
Cody's knocking this guy out, man.
Yeah, I think
Cody's going to knock him out. But Cody loses on points, man.
The Parker's going to be like, all right, mate, I'm gonna get knocked out, mate.
I think he's too
knocked out by Cody. No, I can't do that.
What's Dubois got? I need to know. Like, what's that?
And then the main event, obviously, Baturbia versus Bivol. Predictions: are we going to see Bivol up the output to score on the judges' scorecards, or are we going to see something wildly different than what we saw the first fight?
Well, hopefully we get the right person wins this time. We're all happy.
I still had Baturbia winning. I've rewatched the fight since, and I still had Baturbia winning because Bivol didn't. The output wasn't enough. I think. But Cody worked Jared Anderson's American top heavyweight, beating down. Thoughts on the main event, Cal?
I feel like
I am just to do the watch on just to have Drifty crash out on stream.
Yeah, again. I might go Baturbia with this one because I think because they fought the first time, Baturbia has felt his power now. Not to say Bivol couldn't catch him with something. I just think Baturbia believes he can take his power and walk him down now, and I think he does it from earlier than the 6th round.
Yeah, but if I'm Bivol,
it's going to be a hell of a fight, though.
The thing is, if I'm Bivol, he's probably thinking, yeah, I felt his power. He probably thinks I just need to up the work rate a little bit, which he's admitted that he needs to up the work rate, which I know people crash out saying that.
Can he up the work rate, though? He worked bloody hard.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out this weekend.
Tyson Fury would come out of retirement for the Anthony Joshua fight.
Yeah, skip. Shock
Yeah.
horror. Money.
That fight will happen in September at Wembley.
Yeah, greedy little bastard, but hopefully we're there doing media stuff. But anyway, an hour and 5 minutes. Jay, thanks for hopping on. I know that you're feeling a bit under the weather, so appreciate it. Obviously, Callum,
more now. Illness.
Yeah, I've made him worse now. Callum, big up as always. I know we started late because you had an issue with one collapsing outside your house.
Crazy.
Yeah, did you just shovel them out of the way? That's what I would have done.
No, so literally, I'll tell you what happened briefly.
Get my drive, man. Get my drive.
I was driving back, and so to go onto my road is quite a sharp turn, and there was a guy sort of kneeling down on it. No.
Oh, right.
That's why it
That thing
collapsed. There was a guy
Jesus.
kind of kneeling down, and then like as I've driven a bit more around the corner, I've seen a guy just flat out on the street. So I wound down the window and I'm like, "Is everything all right?" And he's like, "I've only been there." He's like, "I've just seen him here." Like, and I was just like, "Look, let me just pull into the driveway." I just went out there, called the ambulance, obviously straight away. Bro, I called the ambulance at literally like 55 minutes past 9. The ambulance didn't get there until after 11. This poor guy had to go and get blankets from the house, put blankets over him, and like he's laying on the floor the whole time. As he's tried to sit up, he's gone to fall back. So like the other guy I'm with is like trying to hold his head, and I'm trying to make sure the guy doesn't get up because he's just not stable. I had to call the ambulance for the second time. Was like, guys, what is going on? And they're like, oh yeah, there's been a busy night. And I was like, yeah, well, I can't just keep this guy lying on the floor because then it's just gonna look dodgy. It's gonna look like I'm fighting this guy for anyone who's driving by. And I was like, can you just send someone ASAP? And they're like, oh yeah, the blue lights are on the way. Like after the call, within like 5 minutes, they were there. So I'm like, you guys were just pissing about. But the guy was out of it. Like he was talking, but he was slurring his words. Unfortunately, I think he's like quite drunk, but he was really like, he wasn't abusive. He was actually quite friendly, but he was just slurring his words. He was in a bad way. He was in a really bad way. He looked like he fell and hit his head, but he weren't knocked out. But he was in a bad way. Older guy.
I would have moved him on.
I'd have felt so bad if I just left him there. Though.
No, I left him. You're drunk, mate. Look how state you. Look how old you are. You've got to grow up. You moved him on there. I'd have put him on the edge of the road. I don't want to pick him up.
Anyway,
ain't my problem. I've got
Jay's savage nowadays, but
I've got things to do, man. Get off my property. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So, guys, anything you want to pick up? Anything that's coming out that people need to tune in for?
I'm probably going to do a few shows on Sanderson Show tomorrow, but I don't know if any of them will be live yet. So yeah, just keep an eye out, people, if you can.
Jamie, got anything coming out on Big Up Your channel at all? Any streams people need to watch out for?
I got my feet video on OnlyFans. I got up. That's about it,
What is it called? Toes only, yeah.
Toes only.
Yeah.
With regards
today's videos are out socks.
Oh, crikey!
Oh,
no socks. I haven't washed my feet for 2 days either. So.
Oh, crikey!
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ! With regards to anything going out with here, it's my other half's birthday today, so
happy birthday!
There'll be no videos tomorrow.
Happy birthday! She's gotta get a good present.
Yes.
So
if there are any videos that come out, it's because I've been allowed to record briefly. So don't expect anything tomorrow. Saturday, it is still a coin toss whether I'm doing the boxing. It is still a coin toss whether I'm doing the boxing on Saturday. But and it's a coin toss whether or not I'm going to do UFC Seattle watch along.
Was that this one?
I'm not doing this weekend, 2 a.m. So I don't know whether I'm staying up for that. But most likely I'll be on Big Up on Saturday with. Is it Drift and you that's doing it, Jay? Or is it Matt?
What's that?
And you?
What's that? I think Matt's doing the West End.
Yeah, so I'll be invading Matt's Big Up with Jamie. Colin McGregor may make an appearance again on that because that last Big Up was absolutely hilarious with Matt and Jay and Drift. So yeah, so tune in for that as well. Everyone that's tuned in, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe to Jamie Phillips Football Chats and the Sanderson Show. Both links are in the description. Until next time, thanks very much, and we'll see you all very soon. Peace.
That bella's a salt, ain't she?